So in the previous chapter, we got to see Satoko in a way that we never saw in the previous incarnations, or story arcs, or whatever you would prefer to call them. Very interesting tale. Very, very odd indeed. Is it because of... Hold on. I think I forgot something. There we go. But anyways, we're about to see what is going on. Maybe let's see how things are when we're pretty much a good replacement for Satoko's big brotherly figure. This is kind of awkward when the mouse just moves on you to the first selected. Alright, we're back at school. So, the time has come. Lunchtime has finally arrived. Mion declares the beginning of lunchtime with a smile on her face. Oh, finally, lunch! One of us is going to do the punishment. Oh, I'm a bit scared of the punishment today. I really tried hard making my lunchbox today. Even if she didn't try hard, I'm pretty sure Rena's chance of losing is close to none. We all tried very hard. So, Satoko, Rika, did the two of you make your own lunchboxes? You usually make one for the both of you, but today you need one for each. Yep, don't worry, Rika and I made one each. Sound like the both of you tried hard too. I can't wait to see them. To my surprise, Kei-chan made his lunchbox today. I'm proud of you. You did it. I scratched my head with a wry smile. The contents of my lunchbox were what Satoko made from last night. None of my originality to it at all, so I did nothing to be praised for. I wonder what it looks like. I can't wait. Nothing to look forward to. I just used leftovers from last night. Using leftovers from dinner is the basics of a lunchbox. Oh, we'll know what he made for dinner last night by looking at the lunchbox. I might as well. I probably should keep it a secret that Satoko came to my house to cook for me last night. Yeah, I totally should. If they find out I didn't make my own, I'm gonna have to take the punishment for sure. Remember, the punishment is to say something bad about curry in front of the curry nut Chie-sensei. There isn't a lot of difference between that and jumping off the roof in a 100-story building. Like a death penalty. But B-chan, how are we going to decide who wins or loses? Keiichi made his lunchbox. We might as well call it a tie. You have a point. The punishment we came up was to force Keiichi to cook on his own, so... we tied because Keiichi didn't make one of his own. Hardly a fair game for me right from the start because there's no way the leftovers from last night could compete against the lunches the others made to win. I can feel those two's consideration trying to finish the game peacefully. But there's one problem. Our club leader isn't satisfied with such a result. Don't be nice and easy. I'm not going to allow this game to end without having clear winners and a clear loser. Once we fight, we got to make things black and white. Settling for a tie just ain't gonna cut it. I knew she was gonna say that. Man wants to win and won't let any game be a tie game. It never is good. I'm gonna definitely lose for sure. But I can't blame anyone. I didn't make my own. Oh, might as well accept defeat. So, Mi, how are we gonna decide who wins or loses? Giving scores to each other won't be fair. Let's do public scrutiny. Hey everybody, come over here. So Mion calls everybody to the class. Uncle Mion needs you to be judges to score the performance of these lunchboxes that each of us have made. Write down your best 3 on the paper, okay? The classmates are used to getting involved with Mion's club activities. They all roar in excitement. You may have to excuse me. Everybody knows the deadly punishment for the game today, and they're all interested in the result that the loser has to face. They were only interested in it because it's kind of scary, but exciting too. So, are all of you ready? Let's open mine up first. There you go. She theatrically takes the lid off of her gorgeous lunchbox. Oh boy, the fan translator has a little bit of a problem right there. Everybody gives a cheer to the beautiful lunchbox. Looks like New Year dishes. She has to be cheating. She must have bought it and just put them all in her lunchbox. She can't cook traditional Japanese food. No way. Mion Sozaki cannot cook something like this. Mi-chan can cook if she gets serious. She doesn't get serious often though. Who do you think Uncle Mion is? If I had time and ingredients, I could probably make a full-course Chinese meal. Everyone in the class was speechless. They'd written their scores on the paper. The presentation of lunchbox is 100 out of 100. Now Rena, she's quite good at cooking. Rena's lunchbox is always like a flower on the table. Thanks everyone, I'll open mine then. Rena's lunchbox looks beautiful, coordinated with scrambled eggs, cooked ground beef, a staple lunchbox, Subaru. It also had a few side dishes. Looked like she spent extra time for making them, but it looked casual. It wasn't extravagant. Different from Mion's lunchbox, with a homely touch to it. That looks great. You can expect to get high scores. Impressive. I try to find some negative points, but I can't find any. Looks perfect, just always. Again, the judges were writing the scores on the paper. Some of the judges were comparing her lunchbox with Mion's, even changing the scores. Seems the judges in the classroom are just as divided between Mion and Rena's side. The faces were obviously saying they want to eat them more than just get them scores. Where next? That's right. Here goes nothing. Come to think about it, they came to my house last night and we ate dinner. I'm impressed they still had time to make their lunchboxes. But the lunchboxes were not as artistic as Mion's or as perfect as Rena's. I can tell they really try their hardest though. The way they arranged the side dishes looks a little rough, which actually makes people want to give extra sympathy points for their efforts. The judges who were moved by their efforts reconsidered the scores and wrote the high scores on the paper. Satoko and Rika, when did you have time to make them? Yours may not be as good as Rina's mouse, but taking into consideration, you did great. The two grinned at each other. Can you keep it a secret? What? Oh. She tells me the secret of their lunchboxes. And I quietly get up and look for the lunchboxes of our classmates. There they are, Tomita's and Okamura's lunchboxes. When I looked at the inside, half of their lunch was gone. The secret of the lunchboxes. Satoko and Rika couldn't make their own, so they asked Tomita and Okamura to share theirs. Tomita, Okamura, what did they give you for your lunch? What are you talking about, Mayabara? Nobody gave us anything. That's right, we never gave half of our lunches because they watered the plants for us. Satoko. Very sneaky indeed. Sadako smiled, showing off that vicious teeth of hers. I learned it from you, Keiichi. Buying them out by taking turns watering the plants. You gotta come up with something more exciting than that when you're buying men out. Like, oh, I don't know. Give them 3 tickets that say they can put a leash in a fake cattail on Satoko, and Rika and walk with them as if they were dogs. I might want to buy an eye for that. As my head was full of fantasy, Mion pats me on the shoulder, bringing me back to reality. And it was just about to get exciting too. Fucking hell. Alright, now Kei-chan. According to the announcement, we can expect something fantastic. Keiichi-kun can do great things when he needs to. I've been looking forward to it all day. I have been really looking forward. Well, no need to hold your breath after all. It was just leftovers from last night. I didn't even make him either. I couldn't compete against the lunchboxes these two made. But I don't care, so don't get too surprised. And there it is. I opened the lid of my lunchbox dramatically. God, there's that error again. Not so much cheering from the judges. Well, it's no surprise. Keiichi-kun, you did try very hard. I can tell you did. Rena, you don't have to force yourself to give me a compliment. How does it look? Did you try really hard? Well, I love to value your effort, but the game is a ruthless thing. She was laughing coldly, as if that laugh speaks for the other judges' evaluations. I think Keiichi-kun did a great job for his first challenge. Everybody should value that. But the game is a ruthless thing. No need to remind me. Yeah. Well, Kei-chan, before we collect those results, you can say something to the judges. Well, what do you want me to say? If you pleaded the judges, you might get additional points. All you need to win the game today is to not have the low scores. If you're lucky, you might be able to get away. Oh, are you going to say Kei-chan's plan is really going to lose the game? Uncle Mion didn't say a word about who was going to lose. She was laughing loudly. On the contrary, Satoko smiled uncomfortably. Yup, my lunchbox was the leftovers from last night. A not far shot of saying that she made it. Mion says it's the loser's lunchbox. Mi-chan, I think you're being a bit mean. I feel sorry for Keiichi. Rena, he knew he had to win the game today. With that, he still acted big and mighty. I don't think we need to be easy on him. Am I right, Satoko? Yeah, you're right. I think it's actually funny he failed big like this after all he said yesterday. Oh. Satoko, that's a bit mean of you too. But his lunchbox is so pathetic, I'm laughing. I'm more disappointed at his side dishes. Look like he just bought them from the store. And look at this one. He probably opened a can. The cucumber isn't even cut. Okay, I can tell you never used a knife before. It's obvious you got no experience. Too obvious. Balance of color is too simple. Lack of artistic sense is a big joke. It was my first time putting food in a lunchbox. I couldn't do anything to make it look nice. Kei-chan, the problem is beyond putting food in a lunchbox. Tomita, Okamura, come on, explain it. The underclassmates were chosen. Tomita pushes his glasses up to his nose and steps forward. The fatal mistake you made with your lunchbox is the balance of color. As you already know, there's a balance of color called the 3 primary colors, which means you have at least 3 colors other than black and white. The lunchbox is a dark green color. Only a dark green color, other than black and white, Maibara. Dark green? He said it in such an unappetizing way on purpose. I forgot. They were bought out by Rika and Satoko, so they're trying to make me lose the game in order to make the girls win. What cunning guys they are. Working hard for that buyout. Plus, the side dishes are prepared food and canned food. You don't have your heart. In conclusion, your lunchbox doesn't have 2 out of the 3 basic elements, which are love, heart, and taste. All the classmates were convinced by the questionable explanations and raised cheers with a kind of admiration. Your lunchbox is no love, no heart. A complete lose. Oh, I'm sorry, I can't even say that right. I tried to spin it in my own way, but I fucked it up. This game has a clear loser now, right? Keiichi Maebara? It's a little cold, but I hope Keiichi makes the opportunity to notice the joy of cooking. More importantly, I don't care as long as I don't have to do the punishment. Of course not! You're too young to die! Rena laughed wryly. Oh, a clear and defined loser! Keiichi, you're the one to take the punishment! She smiled and gave me a mean look, but I knew that she didn't mean it. I know my lunchbox was made by her, and it was criticized by everybody in the class. I could feel that pain in that smile. Okamura said the lunchbox didn't have any heart in it. No other lunchbox has a bigger heart in it. I can't let the food she made last night, while looking so happily, even though she looked moody at first, be criticized badly like this. Well, Kei-san, I think it's time to accept defeat. Well, hold on. When I said in a low voice, the look in the eyes of the member of the club changes. Neon clicked. It sounded like she said, Moron shows his fangs at the last minute. The reason why I lost my game is because my lunchbox didn't have any heart in it. Your explanation, am I right? All of a sudden, I aimed my attack at Okamura, who lost his cool for a moment, but replied affirmatively. What is the definition of a heart? Trouble? Effort? Sweat and tears? Explain. If all of them are the definition of heart, how do you evaluate the burns on my hands? Wow, did you get it from jumping whale? A scar of the burn I made yesterday looked like I really tried hard and went through a lot of trouble. I can see the judges in class are forced to admit my efforts. He made his failure from his inexperience in cooking look like a mark of his effort. Just as I thought. This guy cannot be underestimated. I admit I'm not good. I'm ashamed of myself acting big yesterday. But I am not running away from it. I did run away from it. I fought and I produced this result. So you can't call that heart? What do you call it then? I like to say it is. If the will to challenge isn't going to be appreciated, no one can go forward. The girls in the class started nodding in agreement. And I'm starting to get a little better. But Tomita and Okamura, who were bought out by the girls they have a big crush on, they didn't pull back easily. They obviously worked overtime for the buyout and started attacking on the back. I understand your feelings, but if the grade of cooking was judged by heart, we wouldn't need chefs. That's right, if you were served a completely burned burger by a chef who said he really tried hard from his heart, would you pay for it? You wouldn't, would you? That is the answer. That's right, the boys in the class are on Tomita and Okamura's side. And he does have a point. But there's so much heart in it. Even when a burnt burger was put in front of me, I would eat it. Because I know the trouble my mom went through to make it for me. I'd eat it all. An applause. The girls in the class were on my side. That's good. We're even. A lunchbox is supposedly be a beautifully developed form of food, of love. It's a lunchbox only when the love is felt by the person whom you made it for. Do you feel any of his love from his lunchbox? I don't feel anything. That's so mean. The girls in the class were booing at the comment. Okamura was losing his cool. Oh, calm down, guys. Spectators, confine your remarks.
Your Honor, I'd like to see testimony from Miss V. Renica, an expert on cooking, and how much heart is in the lunchbox.
Well, this became a fucking courtroom drama. I think this lunchbox has his heart in it. Primitive, yes. But cooking isn't only about how it looks. Again, the girls applaud and cheered. On the other hand, the boys booed.
Your Honor, Mayabara and Ryugu's comments are extremely emotional and far from common sense.
Says the people who were bought out.
They're not adequate to be accepted as testimony.
Calm down, the prosecution's claims is sustained. Let's go. Let me explain the situation with birthday presents instead of lunchbox. For example, let's say there's a sweater knitted by hand on the birthday. Yokomura got a 10,000 yen bookstore gift certificate. The example is realistic. This can't be just an example. From a common sense standpoint, it's obvious which present had heart in it. The sweater knitted by hand. If the same thing can be said about a lunchbox, it could be the handmade lunchbox. And the bookstore gift certificate that's nothing more than a cash voucher is equivalent to the easily canned food you can buy with money. All this talk. The girls and boys started to have argument about birthday presents. Everyone's talking about what they got for their birthday presents in the past. Well, shoot, you replaced the subject with something everybody is interested in. Tomita, for someone who has been fucking bribed, you're good. He's taking initiative. Objection. This case is about heart in the lunchbox. Birthday presents are for special occasions. They are a different case. Overruled. Prosecutors, you can go on. Fucking hell. Well, what's important here is the difference between the sender and how the receiver feels. Which would you take if you asked to take one between the handmade sweater with different links on the right and a $10,000 yen bookstore gift certificate? You take the bookstore. You take the bookstore gift certificate, wouldn't you? It's 10,000 yen. 10,000 yen. Do you know how many comic books you can buy with that? If you wanted 10 volumes of comic books, you get them all at once, which means more than 10 volumes of cute comedy and naughty stories. There's no comparison between the happiness you can get from those books and from a sweater. The boys give full applause and glorify his theory. Materialistic, but most boys at this age are mostly materialistic. I'd choose the gift certificate if it was between that and this sweater. But wait a minute, they were talking about heart, love, heart, and taste. They changed their theory, and it's all about taste. I believe I proved there's no correlation between how the sender feels and how the receiver feels. Therefore, no matter how hard Mayabara made his lunch, it doesn't earn any sympathy points with the receivers. That's sophistry, Tomita. Really has heart in it. If it's the receiver's problem, if they can feel it or not. He's right. Boo! It's all about the taste. You're an enemy to women. Shut up, bitches. This went dark. Oh. Shit. Oh man. Now the court of justice is in utter chaos. But there's no way to lose. It's not only for the punishment, it's for Satoko's honor. Well, any counter arguments? I nodded strongly and walked to the front. Tomita and Okamura, do you really think, can you bluff your way through and win over me? The prosecutor said the evaluation will be given independent of the sender's heart. Am I correct? So why the shit am I talking about lawyer too? What, do I need some fucking... Do I need to replace the music with Phoenix Wrong music? Ace Attorney? Not Phoenix Wrong, might as well go with Phoenix Right. I was thinking of parody series. My bad. That's great, no matter how hard you try to make your lunchbox, your effort doesn't count for the evaluation. Okay. Alright, let me ask you this. If I put my lunchbox next to a lunchbox I bought from a convenience store, would you give the same scores to both? The prosecutors hesitated to answer. I got you right where I want you. See? A handmade lunchbox is different. It's totally different from one of a convenience store. No matter how bad it is, it has the cooker's heart, or the chef's heart. I don't know why you went cooker. There is no comparison to a lunchbox from a convenience store you bought. Sure, it's valued. That means the sender's heart is felt by the receiver. You have to admit it. I point my finger at them like I'm an ace attorney. Granna gives a big applause and the girls followed suit. Few of the boys were agreeing with me. They caved in. You agree? You agree, right? Now let me move on to why the lunchboxes from the convenience stores don't have heart in it. First of all, what's the heart a lunchbox has to communicate? Objection! My bar is trying to use an abstract expression. Overruled. Sounds interesting. Let's listen till we finish. Now to shower you with skill. Your Honor, I'd like to summon Miss Rika Furude as a sworn witness. Rika wasn't expecting it at all. She must never thought I'd aim my attack at her. But Rika, you told me earlier, the game is a ruthless thing. Well, if it's not toward you, hypocrite. Rika, your lunchbox is nice. Looks delicious. Me? Satoko and Rika made her lunchboxes by getting half of Tomita and Okamura's lunchboxes. The prosecutors looked at me with pale faces, but it's too late. Rena, can you bring Okamura's lunchbox? Okay, I will. Your Honor, my lunchbox has nothing to do with this case. Overruled. Your Honor, I submit Okamura's lunchbox as evidence. Take a look inside. Look in the lunchbox. Well, interesting. It's half empty. Not only half empty, but observe closely. Look. Looks exactly the same. Your Honor, the evidence speaks for itself. Rika Furude stole Okamura's lunchbox. No way her lunchbox had heart in it. Just coincidence. It's obvious. Heart is playing catch between sender and receiver, and the lunchbox is the ball. The lunchbox has food that Okamura's mother made for her son, so Okamura is the only one who could have received the heart of this lunchbox. If she steals it, it doesn't have heart anymore. That certainly hit the nail on the head. What, really? Is that true, Rika? Is that true? I see. Mion, Chief Judge, crosses her arms. I can't tell what she's thinking from her laugh. It's kind of a toss-up if I win or lose. I gotta say, how about the text of judgment? Everybody became quiet. First of all, no doubt the lunchbox of Keiichi Maibara is poorly made based on objective assessment. The result of everyone's score tells it all. However, like Kei-chan said, cooking isn't about taste. The heart should be valued as a hidden flavor, but it will only add decimal points. And those small points won't be enough to change the whole evaluation of how good the lunchbox is. You jaded bitch. So I'd like to find out the basic point of the game today. What were the major premises? The
started with a question of whether the defendant could cook his own meals, and it led to a game to see the result of it.
That's right. Kichikun did make his own lunch.
My conscience bothered me a little, but the game was ruthless. So the game's major premise is about cooking for your own meals, whether you made the lunchbox or not. Rika didn't even do that.
Okay,
That's how her lunchbox doesn't matter. She, I'm afraid, is disqualified.
Nipa.
She smiled and looked like she prepared to meet her fate. Don't take it personal, Rika. The game is a ruthless thing.
I'm impressed, Keiichi. You fought through to the end.
Rika patted my head. So the problem is solved. Today's loser is Rika Furuya. Oh shit. A miracle come behind victory. And the loser Rika against all expectations. Everyone in the classroom murmured in surprise. Can't believe you avoided being the loser with the terrible lunchbox, she says with a mean look on her face. But the tone was ambiguous. I can't be the loser. My lunchbox has no element that would make me lose. But it only has prepared food and canned food with no artistic sense. I grabbed her head. She started making self-deprecating comments, so I grabbed her head roughly and rubbed it. I told you, art is important. The lunchbox has many flavors other than appearance. It's not about heart. It tastes awful and... Oh, come on. I liked it. I loved it. That's why I put them in a lunchbox. If I didn't like the dinner, I wouldn't have put it in the lunchbox. I would have bought bread and milk. Oh, calm down and shut your mouth. I had to swing her head and rub it harder. I realized that Rena is standing behind us. She chuckled. She looked as she knew everything from the start. So when did you know?
When you showed me the scar of the burn. I knew it because your side dishes didn't need to be cooked with oil.
Well, I think you're misunderstanding something. I couldn't.
You didn't make it, so the Kichi couldn't make it for real? Okay, he made it then.
She smiled mischievously and looked at me.
When you cut a cucumber, you pull your knife just like this. As for the balance and color arrangement, you can do it easily by adding vegetables.
Obviously not getting the lecture to me.
But you got a lot better than the last time you showed me your lunch. I can tell you you've been studying hard. I'm pretty sure you can get better.
The comments were obviously for Satoko, even though she's talking straight to me. She looked a little confused and can't even nod to any of the comments.
No matter what anyone says, I like my lunchbox.
I'm not sharing mine with anybody. I'm eating it all by myself.
You're so mean. I want to eat some, please.
She rubbed her eyes like she always does when she's sleeping, and spoke out to me on the others.
I actually made Tomita share his lunch with me too.
Stupid. Satoko Hojo, why did you say that? She kept it a secret. Tomita could have saved her. Tomita looked at her in surprise and disappointment. Well, that true? Really? Well. Neon swinged her finger in a circle and pointed at the hallway as a gesture to tell Satoko to join Rika for the punishment. Satoko left the classroom voluntarily as if she's just going with Rika for an errand.
I can't let it go alone.
I'll go all the way to hell with her.
You don't have to do that.
Keiichi, you're so mean to humiliate Rika alone. I didn't mean to do that. I didn't want to return her kindness with hostility.
See? Satoko's really stupid.
She smiled and whispered it, only to me. Well, it's time to go, Rika. Time to take the punishment as one of our duties as club member. Satoko looked happy for a reason, and didn't show any sign of frustration like she usually does when she loses a game. Rika's right. Everybody's stupid. Mion, I have a confession to make. I might as well say it. I didn't make it either, so I'll disqualify myself. I'll take the punishment with them. I'm sorry, you? What the hell are you doing?
Good luck with the punishment. I'll be waiting for you with a first aid kit.
Arrange an ambulance. We might need a hearse. I leave Neon, still in confused state, and ran laughing happily in the classroom, and walked out to the hallway.
What are you doing? You tried so hard to win and you won. You're stupid to voluntarily join the punishment.
Well, you're right. I guess I am stupid.
My God! I bet you underestimate the punishment. I'm not worried about us. You might get a hard time. Are you gonna be ready for a rib or two to be broken?
Sounds like it's gonna hurt a lot. I can't take the pain.
All you need to do is nod to what I say. Rika and I will do everything. My God, I have to take care of you and the punishment?
I know her behavior means she's in a good mood. That's why it looks so peaceful. Hey, I'm going to eat sauteed vegetables, Satoko. Can you cook that?
Well, I could cook anything if I try. She can cook it very well. I love sauteed vegetables.
Satoko looked unsure at first, but once she gets an endorsement from Rika, she turned around to look at me with confidence. Great, let's go grocery shopping after school. I don't know what to buy. Sounds like a good idea. It's too early for Keiji to do grocery shopping. He's gonna need my help.
And Satoko needs my help to buy the right items. Rika! Me.
As we walked and talked, we were already at the teacher's office. Well, let's get the punishment over with and talk about dinner.
Me.
Rika happily held my arm. I put my other arm around Satoko's shoulder. We die together, right? No one would let any of us die alone.
We're together. Nobody would let any of us die alone.
Stop talking like that. No one's gonna die. She said that in a grumpy tone of voice, but she looked as happy and shy as she could be. Alright. On the other side of the door, there's death. We're gonna come back together. We both. No, we all are.
Yeah! We're all gonna come back. Let's go now!
So we open the door to our demise. Chie is eating curry as usual, just like the sun always rises from the east. It's retort curry, a different brand every day. Oh, we have official art for Chie! Holy shit, yes!
Hi, Maibara, Furude.
Hojo? Something the matter? Her mouth is full of her favorite curry and she looked as happy as ever. A cruel punishment this is. But it's gotta be done. Because it's the rule of our club. We held each other's shoulders tightly once again. You guys ready? Let's do this.
You don't have to do anything, Keiji. You just be quiet. Rika and I will take care of it. Put your life in my hands for now. We can do it.
What's going on? Huh? I can see a few question marks over her head. Alright, Satoko. Time to put my life into your hands. I'm gonna close my eyes tight, and I'll think about dinner tonight. You can do this. So Satoko inhaled deeply.
Curry sucks!
In the end, my selfish wish was fulfilled. Satoko kept complaining happily, but came with me for grocery shopping. Rika couldn't come. She had something to do, something she wanted to do. We couldn't remember. But when she said that, I believed it. But I think about it, I can't help thinking that Rika was being nice to Satoko in her own way. Without Rika around, Satoko talks a lot and more proudly. Alright, listen carefully. Grocery stores usually have limited offers. For example, we're going to need pork to make the sauteed vegetables. The price of pork goes down if you wait a few more minutes. That's because people only buy meat and fish when they're fresh. Stores want to sell them all, so they lower the price at the last minute. Of course, trained housewives knew that well, and when the time for the limited offer comes, even though I didn't ask her, she kept explaining proudly. Every time I asked surprised or nod to what she says, she murmured, "Keiichi, you don't know anything," and laughed happily. She even put my hand to go on to one counter after another. Because she looked so happy, I started feeling happy by just being with her. Fun to just follow her wherever she goes. Look, we gotta get this value pack. I like this one with cheese in it too. Keiichi, you have no sense of economy. Look at the price, over your budget. You don't even have enough money for it. She showed some receipts in front of my eyes. Well, shoot. She could do math in her head this fast, and just by shopping. Well, should I get the one that's big but has normal taste, or the one with cheese but not so much volume? A hard decision. Take the one with volume. Wise to take volume over quality for a teenager. You're awfully strict, you know that? Why couldn't you understand a man's heart? What about well, I just want both quantity and quality. A man's heart doesn't add money to your wallet. My God. Hey, stop sticking on the glass! While we were joking around, I heard someone yell from the meat counter. I could see some housewives run into the counter. Shit, we gotta hurry or the half price will be pork will be gone. Shit, don't pull me! Don't pull me by the collar! Satoko was really happy, acting like a little child who pulls her mom as she runs towards a theme park ride. The pork we obtained is just pork in a package, but it must have been delicious. I can hear the cry of the cicadas. The air is fresh and feels really nice. Our long shadows look like funny shadow pictures. The baskets of our bicycles are full of bags and groceries. There are food, household goods in the bags. But the bags look like they were full of something happy. It kind of made me feel the same. Shopping for groceries is really fun. Makes me look forward to dinner. That's also part of the pleasures of cooking. Dinner starts with grocery shopping. I'm really looking forward to sauteed veggies. Mom never cooks it, so I can only eat it when we go out to a Chinese restaurant. Sorry to hear that, pleb. I'll cook some extra delicious sauteed vegetables for you. Usually I'd start saying something mean, but I didn't feel that today. Yeah, I know you can make delicious sauteed vegetables. I can't wait. What? For a moment she stuttered. Is she surprised because she thought I'd say something to make fun of her but didn't? Or did she stutter for another reason? Hard to tell. But I can tell right away she isn't feeling bad about it. Yeah, I'm gonna make a super delicious dinner. Look forward to it. I think about it while riding my bike with her. Was I always like this? I used to shoot back at her whenever she did something to me, and we were always like that, provoking each other, poured cold water on any matter just to have fun. But I guess it changed. No fighting words, because I didn't bother to provoke her. We didn't bother to fight. She does the same thing. Wasn't like it before. But I guess our relationship had been changing a little. At least that's how I feel. But it's not a change that I'd be concerned about. I don't know how to say it, but I guess it's a change that makes you feel warm. Why changed like to this? You know, why did we change this? Did Satoko look to me through the shadow of her brother because she misses him so much? I knew what happened when yesterday Rika told me about it. I guess it's right. I acted like Satoshi, and Satoko started to get back to who she really was when she lived with her brother. Which means Satoko, this Satoko, is the real one. Seeing the mere shadow of her brother, and became who she really is. She could smile so gently when I'm playing the role of her brother. But I'm not her brother. I'm a different person, Keiichi Maibara. I can't be her brother. I can be like him, but I can't be him. It makes me feel like it's a sad thing. This mascot Satoshi that I'm wearing will probably be ripped off someday. At the time, the peaceful time that Satoko can cherish the old days will be over. A limited peaceful time. A peaceful time that will end someday. It's sad, I know. I shake my head to try to get rid of such disappointing thoughts. What's the matter with you, Keiichi? It's nothing, don't worry about it. Don't do it for nothing. You made me think you ate something bad. I'm sorry, Satoko. Naggish as always. But she looked very happy. For no reason, I laughed too. Hey, Keiichi. Let's not think about sad things like this limited peaceful time. It had to end? I should think about how when it ends. One thing I can say. So I'm gonna excuse me. As long as I keep smiling at her like this, she won't stop smiling either. As long as I keep doing this, the peaceful time will never end. Satoshi should come back someday. And maybe it'll be a long way off in the future. Until that day, I can fill in. It'll be just an excuse to say that I can't be Satoshi because I'm not a real brother. As long as I play my role, Satoko can be happy. I don't know what happened to Satoshi to make him believe her and run away from home. But now that I look at Satoko being so happy, I can keep trying as long as it takes. That's why I decided. I'll not try to be Satoshi, but I'll try to fill in. Exactly what I wanted to eat. Tastes great. Delicious. I like salty soup with the pepper taste. Rice goes great with it. Keiichi, you're spilling food everywhere. They don't go away, so you don't have to eat fast. Oh, they do go away. The best taste of smoking hot dinner goes away little by little right after it's made. I have an obligation to enjoy the best of it. You made it delicious. A manner for who eats. Well, I'm flattered you say that, so how about you eat a little slower? You're right, I'm sorry. No mean words. I scratch my head, stop moving my chopsticks, and left with her. I'm eating most of the dinner. Satoko isn't eating, just looks at me eating, but it seems like it satisfies her. She looks happy when I enjoy her food, so I eat more with gusto. She kept smiling happily. It makes me smile happily too. The peaceful time goes by. We used to start fights all the time because we gave each other tit for tat. I didn't know we could have such a peaceful conversation if we talked honestly to each other. I'm happy that I discovered this side of Satoko. For instance, I'm eating a dinner that she cooked, and I didn't think anything suspicious about it. The old Satoko will probably set up a trap for sure. I think I ate too fast. I gotta go to the bathroom. Keiichi, it's rude to say bathroom during dinner. What am I supposed to say then? I need to do the number 1, the number 2, the dump. Her face is turning red. She looks down in embarrassment and points to the hallway as if to say, just go. I did it again from habit. But this isn't bad either. I shouldn't act too much, I should be natural. So I went to the bathroom defenselessly and thought. There's something. My foot's caught in something like a string. Uh-oh. A kettle? A basin? Satoko! She got me. She always does something when I lower my guard. I should never lower my guard around her. Kind of funny, though. It didn't make me mad. Laughter was heard. Satoko was laughing her stomach off as she came to me. See, I knew I could get you good. You got me good for sure. I picked up the basin and hit my head hard. And think about hitting her head with it for a moment. Well, I'm laughing too hard. I just couldn't manage to do it. Oh man, I wish this could continue forever. Minus the traps. It's not that it wasn't fun until the day since I came to Hinamizawa, but it's probably the first time that I spent such a soft and peaceful time. This isn't an exaggeration. It's just a soft and peaceful time. My first time experiencing as an only child the feeling of having a sibling. I felt peaceful just by washing dishes next to her. We were washing dishes. Quiet let her talk, and I just nodded. A very peaceful, warm, ordinary moment. I've probably felt this warmth before. Maybe when I was little, as I remember standing next to my mother at the sink. Reminds me of those old days. A slow and peaceful time. Peaceful. A peace that makes me feel rather anxious because I don't have anything to be anxious about. Hey Keiichi, why do I feel anxious about having a peaceful time? I don't have to feel anxious. I'm not going to get a punishment for spending every day having fun and peace, right? I'll do anything. I wouldn't do anything bad. If I could keep having days like this, I'm going to try hard and be patient for it. So please, God, make my dream to have good times like this forever come true. Is that your phone ringing? Who did I be calling at a time like this? I didn't notice. I didn't notice the phone call until she told me. I stood up and ran to get it. Who could it be? I can't help but feeling that this happy moment is being interrupted by a phone call. Oh, no matter. I gotta brag about the good time I'm having right now. Hello, I can borrow. Hello? Keiichi? It's your mom. Oh, Mom, what do you want? It's late. I talk coldly to my mom, who only called to make sure if I'm alright. I smiled a bit wryly. You sound like you have no trouble so far. I was a bit worried if you're hungry and sick because you can't cook. Yeah, everything's fine. Did you cook alright? What did you eat? I had rice, miso soup, and some sauteed vegetables. I bought some prepared food at a grocery store, so I had many side dishes. And I bought pork at a half price because of a limited offer. You can call it a housewife's knowledge. It's all because of Satoko, nothing that I can brag about. I just wanted to brag about dinner. My mother seems to get how happy I am. I see, I'm relieved to hear you're doing all right. Oh, and your dad and I finished the job. I think we can get home by tomorrow afternoon or night. Oh, okay. Did great for the last 2 nights. We were working all night for 2 days. It was hard, but I think we saved your dad's teacher's event. Great, I'm glad to hear that. I felt disappointed to know my parents will be coming back. I know the reason why. The piece I didn't want to end is going to end so quickly, and I'm a bit sad about it. My mom asked what souvenirs I'd like to have from Tokyo, and I said anything that I could eat would be fine. And then I hung up. Satoko came back after cleaning the mess of the trap she set up. She looked happy at first, but when she looked at me hanging on the phone with a disappointed look on my face, she changed her expression. It seemed like she knows what the phone call was about. Was it your parents? Yeah, they're coming back tomorrow. Great news, I don't have to take care of your dinner tomorrow. You can enjoy dinner with your family again. Well, I'm a bit sad that I'll have boring dinners again from tomorrow. You're asking too much. Having dinner with family is the best time you ever have. I remember that her brother Satoshi's away, but she didn't say it in such a sad way. I enjoyed having dinner with you tonight and last night. If you say so, I'll go to your house next time. What? She smiled happily, but looked surprised. My house is small and messy. The kitchen isn't nice like yours either. Well, I don't mind. But if you don't want me to come, I won't. She shakes her head as if to tell me that's not what she meant. And I still have to learn more from you. I only learned how to use the rice cooker properly in miso soup.
It might be a good idea for you to take this opportunity to learn how to cook. She uses me to make it easier for her to say yeah to the idea of me coming over to her house. But she can't hide the happiness on her face. Peaceful time will come to its end because my parents are coming back. But I don't need to be sad about it because I can try to make it continue. Just like yesterday, she told me I didn't need to take her home. Well, Rika isn't with her. She's by herself. In Hinamizawa, where everybody knows everybody, it's not so dangerous to walk alone at night, but it's still not a good idea to send a girl to a dark road alone. I think so, at least as her brother. Just let me go with you to school then. There are more lights in the street and it's safer once you pass the school area. I'll be alright. Man guy appears and I'll take it down with just a finger. Further arguments won't bring us any answer. I grabbed her head and rubbed it roughly. Shut up, Satoko. Your needy will go with you half the way. I was about to say that, but I got shy and couldn't help saying it in a whisper. Needy's the nickname Satoko used to call her brother by. I felt bad to use it lightly, and I also felt a little embarrassed. Needy. Wait, what? Oh, you looked like my brother for a moment. The way you just talked, it was totally different, but it reminded me of him. She got shy and awkward. Ain't that cute? I also got shy by looking at her. It's like she knew that I was trying to be like her big brother. My heart starts filling up with a warm feeling. Totally different from romantic feelings or something of the sort. It's, moist. Warmer. A bit relaxing. Satoko still needs her Nini. I first thought Rika was being sly about not coming. But now that I think about it, I can feel her warm consideration fill her best friend's spiritual world. Rika might have known very well she can't fill in for Satoko's brother. I guess that's... yeah. I gotta stop it. No way of using... There's no use in making it complicated. Point is, everybody's thinking the same thing. We all want Satoko to keep smiling. She acts like she doesn't care about Nini running away from home. But we all know it ain't true. She's really sad. She's waiting for him to come back. A strong little sister. To be the strong little sister Satoko really is, she needs a brother. Which means she still needs her brother. Nobody can laugh at her saying it's a childish thing. Everybody rather compliments her for being a good sister. Satoshi should take the role of Nini himself. But sadly, he ain't here. That's why I take the role. Because I am near her. Not something I should feel guilty about, but something natural. Because there's no harm to see her smile happily like this. Right? What's wrong, Keiichi? Your smile looks weird. You have any problems with me smiling? No, I don't, but I can hear what she said, and it's because it's lost in the noise of the dynamo on the bike. What? What? What did you say? Nothing. You really are just like Nini in so many ways, Keiichi. Am I? Well, yeah. You're different from Nini, but I don't know. The way you carry yourself, it's just like the way he does. Really weird. If I'm like Nini, do I remind you of him and make you miss him? After I said it, I felt like I shouldn't have said it, but she looked like she didn't care. You don't make me miss him because you're filling in. I lost my cool. Satoko ended up asking me calmly. Her voice was mature, relaxing, and calm. Is it Rika? She sounded calm, but she was a little sad. Did Rika ask you to fill in for Nini for me? Why would you think that? I didn't mean to offend you.
Rika looks out for me too much, even though I don't really care about the whole thing. I could tell she was lying. Yesterday, today, Satoko was so happy we shared time like a normal sister and a brother would. That's all the evidence that she's lying when she said she didn't care about it. I softly poke her head. You think too much. I'm Keiichi Maibara. I can't be your Nini. I know that. She still looked sad. Just a little. She seemed to notice that her questioning was a bit improper. If she regrets talking about it, there's no need to continue it. So, just to cut the conversation, I grabbed her head and rubbed it roughly. That's enough out of you. It's getting late. Let's get home, brush your teeth, and go to bed. Better gargle too. Prevent you from catching a cold. You better do the same thing too, Nini. Make sure you brush your teeth good. You need to gargle, go to the bathroom, prepare for school, and it... Man, it makes me wonder what kind of sister and brother they were. I never seen them together, but I can tell they gotta be close. I wonder how close. Must have been just like us. It's cool outside now, but the moonlight looks somewhat warm. The quiet cry of the cicadas sounded very comfortable in my ears. Satoko's trap lesson, intermediate level. Let's take a look. I see Tomita and Okamura walking around the back of the gym storage. They're getting a bag of white powder to draw lines on the yard for the next PE class. They're in charge, but a horrifying trap is waiting for them in the storage. When I'm the who to set the trap, it's really how do you say that? When I'm the person who sets the trap? I hope so. If you understand that sensation, you must have some talent. They're trying to unlock the door. What's going on? Okamura is pointing at the part of the door and mumbling. He noticed something and jumps back. Satoko, I think they've noticed. Did I fail? I knew to detect that one. And I know what they're going to do next. She said they'll avoid the door and get in through the window. She's right. They headed to the window in the back. Climbed up to try to open the window as she predicted. You're right. Ah, we got them! White powder explodes from the window. After a while, Tomita and Okamura come out of the window with wobbly steps, covered in white. I can't get enough of it. The sweet sensation. I'm impressed because you have to know exact spots where they put their hands and legs in order for the trap to work, you know? Alright, Keiichi-san, traps begin with examining your opponent. You read all the behavior patterns in detail. That way, you can set the most effective trap with a minimum requirement. I heard Mion saying Satoko was gifted in prediction at the last critical moment. Setting a trap about prediction, huh? So I fell into past traps because you predicted my behavior. That's right. You get trapped because I know all your behavior patterns. So if you suddenly start behaving differently, I won't be able to trap you. Not fun that my behavior is predictable. Alright, why don't we play a game? Let's try your predicting ability. Sure, nothing because you're so easy to read. So we get back to the classroom. Satoko takes a sheet of paper, writing something on it, made 3 cards. I don't know what's written on them. Pick one of them. You win if you don't pick the wrong one. Alright. I'll see them through with my acute senses I gained from club activities. She smirked while holding out 3 cards. Cool down and let's use that brain of yours. Win in a cool way. I'll win if I don't pick the wrong one, which means Satoko will win if she makes me pick the wrong one. So she absolutely wants me to pick the wrong one. What would I do to let someone pick the wrong one? That cannot be predicted. Any pattern or statistics that I tend to pick the center one? Or the white one, based on my right-handedness? Then I got an idea that Mion could have come up with.
So did you decide?
Yeah. I'll pick this one.
It's what? What are you doing?
All 3 cards are picked. I tried to think like Satoko. She wanted me to pick the wrong card, which meant all the cards were wrong. I'm gonna check them all. I flip the cards and I see one word on each. I got you. What the? I got you?
That's what it is. If you picked only one, you would have lost.
What? So you predicted I picked them all at once? Shit! I groaned while holding my head as Satoko laughed. The laughter echoes through the classroom. A lump of white powder fell on Satoko's head. Tomita and Okamura are holding a handful of white powder for revenge.
How John, we know it was you who tricked us. What insolence? Do you have any proof?
And don't use the word trick. You should call it an entrapment to make it sound more elegant.
Take this! Keiji, help me!
Sweet! They're rumming around, covered in white powder. Well, Satoko, didn't you predict this consequence? However, I wasn't able to predict that the teacher would come in and that I would get scolded together with them. She probably saw that coming too. So, I guess I'll call it quits. Gonna save this one. And I'm gonna call it quits. So, I'll see you guys in the next installment.